Welcome to the Tech Ranch, everybody.
Hello.
We are doing a show on gadgets and gizmos. So if you feel like you cannot keep up with all the crazy technology going on nowadays, you're not alone, actually.
Yeah.
I can't even keep up, and this is what I do. So at the control panel, Mr. Producer Extraordinaire, Jim Walsh.
Hi there.
So you are phoneless.
Yeah, I misplaced my phone. I stopped at Barnes & Noble this morning, said, "Do you have my phone?" They said, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. Go away." No, they were very nice about it. They always are. I'm a regular customer there.
But you're thinking that that's where you misplaced it at?
I was. Now I'm thinking maybe it's in the car. I got about a year's worth of junk in the back of my car, back seat. I'm like a backseat hoarder, everything I have in my life, I save and throw in the back seat of the car.
So how do you feel right now that you're not connected? Is it kind of an odd feeling for you?
It's not too bad because I still have my pad.
Okay.
Which I don't have with me right now, but it's at home and I know where it is.
Okay.
And I can do just about anything on the pad except for actually making a regular, normal phone type call.
Okay.
I can text people. They can text me. My wife knows she can usually get a hold of me through Facebook. I check in Facebook periodically several times a day. And even if I wanted to do this, if I want to do like a blab thing, I could do that at home with my pad. It's set up to do so.
Right.
And I can surf the net and all that.
Yeah, so you have everything except for the ability to talk to people.
Everything
right now.
except the ability to actually talk to people on the telephone.
So you have an Android, right?
Yes, I have
okay.
Android.
So I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a thing called Device Manager.
Okay.
So if you go to Chrome, in Chrome, okay, and
I like Chrome.
Yeah, you sign into your account, and then you go to Device Manager. It'll show you where your phone's at.
Oh.
I don't know if you... So as long as it was on when you lost it, it'll probably be able to locate where your phone's at.
Well, it's been 3 days and maybe out of power now.
It could be, but it'll actually show you the last place then that it was on, that it was located.
Do I have to set it up to do that? Or
no, you can just go right in. Even during the break here, you and I will go in there and do that.
Oh, okay.
Most people don't realize
and
this
we'll
stuff
check back and we'll report it on the air.
Yeah. Hey, anybody over at wherever,
well,
if
that
you can
doesn't
find my
suck.
phone. So let's hope it works.
Yeah.
But we'll check on that as we're on break. So yeah.
Well, if it does or it doesn't, we'll talk about it.
Absolutely. So you're a Kindle user too, right?
I am a Kindle user. I have Kindle. Well, actually, my wife got me Nook.
Okay.
Several Christmases ago.
Okay.
I still am signed up for it, and I still use it on occasion. Mostly I use Kindle a little bit. Mostly, however, I use Audible.
Gotcha.
I get the books on tape.
Okay.
Because I'm just an auditory kind of guy.
Yeah, I know. You really like those books on tape and things.
Yeah,
so,
I think there's something, they talk about people, the way people's brains are hardwired.
Sure.
Some people are just natural listeners. Some people are more like viewers.
Right.
I seem to be a person who can actually absorb a book better if I have it read out loud to me.
Sure. I get that. So I don't know if you know this or not.
I'm reading a novel right now, in fact. It's a great science fiction novel called 1 Second After.
Okay.
It's about, we've talked about this before on the show, about the possibility of some terrorist group exploding a nuke over the country. And
doing the EMP thing.
With the EMP just knocking everything out, putting us back in the...
in the Stone Ages, so to speak.
Putting us back about a century and a half in terms of our technology.
Right.
Everything more advanced than the steam engine. Gone.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you have a Kindle, and if you have a version, and this is just kind of an update, anything that's pre-2012, there is a critical update. So anybody who has a Kindle, you need to do this.
I think I'm covered. I think I'm okay.
Okay. But if you have one, you need to install if you want to keep using it, and you must do so before March 22nd. So I think what a lot of people do with their Kindles and Nooks, and not that I use mine a lot, but occasionally you'll go download a book, and then you don't have it online for a while. You go on an airplane or you're traveling or whatever, you just don't put it back online. You need to get your Kindle back online so that it does that critical update, because if you don't have it done before March 22nd, your Kindle will not work.
March 22nd?
March 22nd. So
we're already past March 22nd.
We are past March
22nd. We're about a week past.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so today's the 28th.
So, see, these are my notes.
You sure it's not April?
No, it is March 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah. These are actually my notes from last week, and you're right. I'm way
sorry.
behind. I am way behind
did
here.
not mean to embarrass you.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So I guess if you have a Kindle and it's not working now when you go back online, this is the reason for it. So
Yeah, well, they can probably work around it.
I'm not sure about that. So I will check into that. So
Yeah.
if you haven't done the update,
because I had no idea that. Half the stuff they send me, I never look at.
Right.
I just kind of spam it out of existence.
I think most people are like that, actually.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, that it's past that
okay.
time. So, yeah. Anything from Kindle first generation to the Kindle Paperwhite 7th generation. So, is all impacted by this. So, you need to get in there and take care of that. If you
Now,
haven't
is
done
Kindle
so
the
already.
one that comes from Amazon?
Amazon, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Nook is from Barnes & Noble.
That's correct.
I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, so you and I were talking not too long ago about this road that sings to you. Remember this?
Yes, I do remember.
All right. So, it's on Route 66. Did you know this?
No.
All right, so this is the story behind this. We've hit the speed strips that are on highways and stuff, the rumble strip, whatever you want to call them, right?
Over a certain speed.
Right, exactly right. Warns you if you're coming up to a stop sign or if you're about ready to go off the road or go over the middle of the road, right?
Yeah, if you're falling asleep
right.
at the wheel.
Well, on Route 66 in New Mexico, as a matter of fact,
I love New Mexico.
If you drive the speed limit over this particular area, it'll actually rumble America the Beautiful.
Oh, I love it.
And I was actually watching this video of it last night. It actually is exactly that. They have it set up so that, and I guess it took them a long time to figure this out.
I'll have to see if it's on YouTube. It's probably on YouTube.
It is on YouTube,
Somebody's probably done it on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. So
everything else in the world was on YouTube.
it's a 490-yard stretch of Route 66. And meticulously placed rumble strips, and drivers have to go the 45-mile-per-hour speed limit in order to hear it in its glory, so to speak. So just a few seconds after the song ends, drivers will roll over a group of strips that will play the jingle of road sponsor Nationwide Insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
Isn't that funny, though? What a creative way to have that. So are you about ready to play it there?
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
know what the guy does a little commentary at the beginning.
Yep. So we'll let it
make sure he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll wait till he gets by.
Yeah. So here we go, I think.
Set to 45 miles an hour.
So this is a video that we're viewing right now on YouTube, and of course it froze up on Jim.
It froze up. Of course.
Of course it would. Well,
Hopefully I can hit this.
There we go.
isn't that cool?
Yeah. And crown thy two shining sea.
Yep. Isn't that clever how they did that? So
That's amazing.
yeah. All right, everybody. After the break, we'll continue our conversation, or start a conversation, I should say, on gadgets and gizmos. So come on back.
Right now, 41.
Here's Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons on Super Talk 1270.
Follow the Guru of Geek at Facebook.com/The Tech Ranch or Twitter at Guru of Geek or TheTechRanch.com. Here again is your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And we are live.
We are live, and we want to
Yay.
thank all the people who follow us across the country and around the world on the Blueberry Network. We're on the Tech Podcast Network. We are on the Roku. We're on iTunes, Apple, and all kinds of crazy places, I guess, on top of that. Our own app, Radio Pup. I need to have my notes in front of me, Jim. I'm not doing well without my notes today.
Okay, I'm getting a location unavailable on my phone.
Oh, no.
It must be turned off.
Yes, we're also on Meerkat, by the way, today, and we are on blab.im. So if you want to see what's going on in the studio, you can actually join us on those mediums. If you go to thetechranch.com and click on Listen Live, you'll actually see the Meerkat stream there as well.
You can watch me stick my finger up my nose.
Yes, and then we also got some comments on Blab. Mr. Scott Wild actually had chimed in stating that as long as you've had your Kindle turned on and connected to a network, that you're probably okay. If you've had it off for a while, you may have some issues. So just check into that if you have that. So anyway, Jim and I were talking about that he misplaced his phone earlier today. And we're kind of tracking it right now on Device Manager.
Yeah.
So
I turned it off.
Oh, you turned it off here for a while. Okay.
I'll try it again later.
Okay.
I'm going to try the phone function, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it later
Sure,
when I'm
sure.
home.
Okay.
It's either in the house or in the car.
Well, it should, if you, we'll play with it a little bit more during the break maybe too. It'll show you
I'll go out
the
to the
last location of it. So even if it's turned off.
It showed me the last time it was turned on. That was March the 21st.
Oh.
was the last time it was online.
So that's just a few days ago.
That was
then.
just a few days
That's
ago,
like
yeah.
a week ago almost
Yeah.
already. So wow. Okay. Very good. Well, we'll check into it and see if we can find it
Indeed we
somewhere.
will.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, are you a gadget guy, by the way?
I can be. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a gear head. I'm not an expert.
Sure.
I'm not one of these guys who can, work on a car engine or fix a motorcycle or
Yep.
that kind of thing.
Yep.
But there is a part of me that is certainly interested in that kind of techno stuff.
Okay. Well, I have some lists of maybe some of the things that we're going to, maybe some gadgets that you haven't really thought about that have come out or about ready to come out. Of course, we talk about drones and self-driving vehicles and all that stuff on here. And we'll, of course, continue that conversation moving forward because there's just so many advances
Right.
that are going on there. But things that we do every day that you just don't think about. So the first one I have on my list today is the umbrella.
The umbrella.
umbrella, like an umbrella.
Like
Except,
meditating.
yes, the smart umbrella will let you know when it's going to rain and remind you to not leave it behind.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this morning. We're on our way to New York tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And my wife was just saying this morning, let's make sure we don't forget our umbrella because that is the one thing. And, of course, when you need it, then you
This
pay
time
like
of year on the East Coast,
$25 or whatever for these cheap umbrellas that are sold on street vendor corners.
Yeah, they will get you.
Oh, yeah, they'll get you because you need it at that time, So, yeah. So we were just talking about that. But, yeah, this is kind of a cool deal. The umbrella will not let you leave itself behind.
And we're getting into the rainy season
We are.
on the East Coast.
Absolutely. The next big thing is urban transportation. And, you think about last year, skateboards, longboards type of thing, right? Okay, a lot of these are becoming motorized, and you can drive them with your Android or iPhone.
I saw a guy one time in my hometown. This is about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And he was a businessman, older fella. You could tell he was about 60, 65 years old, and he was getting around. He was in a business suit, and I swear to God, he was getting around on a Razor scooter.
Well, people like alternate forms of transportation. I think
Obviously.
they do. I'm kind of the same way. I mean, if I could figure out something to do when the weather's nice where I wouldn't have to drive around in a car, that'd be fantastic, And you're starting to see more and more of these things. So there's, of course, the hoverboards that were a big thing. And are becoming. I mean,
Did they
still,
ever get those? You should pardon the expression, off the ground.
Yes. Well, they're not floating yet. I mean, they're still playing with that, of course. But the explosive battery element of them was the big deal. They had a couple of them actually explode in airplanes. So they have banned them now from flying. You can't put them on an airplane. And what was going on, and I was actually in an airplane one time when this guy, he's rolling around the airport, here at our local airport, as a matter of fact, and put it above in the luggage rack because it's that small. It actually will fit in there. And then the next day I hear about them exploding in airplanes, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
I'd be concerned about the change in air pressure.
That's probably what it is, yeah. So anyway, but you're starting to see more and more. In fact, the big thing that I saw at CES was the drone that will fly a human being.
Oh.
So this thing was like, remember those egg-shaped type of chairs back in the 70s, and maybe they were even around the 60s? I mean, they looked like half an egg and had this cushion in them.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of what this drone looks like, and it's got 4 props on it, big props. So think of it like a helicopter with this egg-shaped thing underneath of it. And basically...
Is it like an ultralight?
No. I mean, it's think of an egg-shaped type of thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
And, so it's metal. And anyway, you fly it with your device, your smart device. You don't, in fact... You program it. So it's basically autonomous. So if I want to go to your house, Jim, I say I want to go from here to here. It flies itself. So there's no pilot intervention at all. It just goes up 100 feet, takes you over, drops you off.
Yeah, I think I'm going to let them work the bugs out of that one first.
You don't want to be one of the first people in it?
No, thank you.
It was cool to look at, though. And
it's like the I mentioned the ultralights.
Yeah.
I remember when they came out. I have a friend who's a pilot. And I said, what do you think of these ultralights? He says, well, it's like anything else. There are models that I wouldn't take across the driveway.
Right. I think that, the reason I'm getting into it, these are what are called PAVs, or personal air vehicles.
Right.
Okay. And I think you're going to start seeing a lot of these type of vehicles starting to emerge because of the drone thing. You're going to start seeing more and more, whether it's lifting goods, delivering goods, or if it's going to start delivering you. And, there's a lot of talk about, if you can get these vehicles down to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Yeah.
I mean, for a short trip, like 2 or 3 miles, if I need to go to the grocery store or whatever, I would hop in one of these. I mean, if they're proven to be safe.
Yeah, if they can, like I say, if once they get the bugs out, I'd be interested in. I did try an ultralight once, and it was fascinating.
Really?
You go up about 200 feet up in the air, and this was in central Indiana. And from where we were, we could see the city of Indianapolis, which was a good 60 miles away.
Wow.
Fascinating.
I did get my drone in the air yesterday for the first time after all these updates and everything.
But you were not on it.
Wasn't on the drone.
You were not on the drone.
No, I was flying the drone.
Flying the drone.
But the same type of thing, sending the telemetry back to the phone that we're using for Meerkat right now. I was actually watching what the drone was able to see.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's a way you could attach either your phone or like a camcorder to it.
Well, it comes with the camera already built into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most of them do.
I see.
This
standard
one
equipment.
Yeah,
okay.
This one just has a much larger or a much nicer camera. I mean,
excellent.
The image that we seen last night was amazing. I was just flying around one of the schools. In the area here, and it is a different perspective when you get up a few hundred feet.
Now, how far up can you go with it legally?
400 feet.
400, okay.
Right. You have to be, not within 5 miles of an airport, and you can go up to 400 feet.
Which is a little rough for Bismarck. You really have to.
You really have to go a little
west
ways.
A ways, yeah.
Because, of course, we have one in Mandan as well.
That's right.
So you have a good. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you have to really go north or quite a way south to get all the way. I don't know if in the city limits. There might be some areas on the north side of Bismarck that you might be able to put them up legally. So, but anyway, it was kind of fun, and I'm looking forward to getting back out there and flying some more. So, anyway, so going on, urban transportation. I think you're just going to see all kinds of cool things that are going to explode in that realm.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, I really would too. Gadgets for parenting. A lot of things emerging there too.
You put the kid on the drone, send him up as babysitting. Let him sit up there.
No. We're making the move now away from drones. So yeah.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, the infant seat is probably going to be one of the most where people manufacturers are really going to get into installing technology.
You mean in a car?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're talking about a device that will show you. The status of the baby, for example, that's in the baby seat, because a lot of times when you're driving, especially if you have an infant in the back, you're always checking on the status of that infant, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if there was a way that you could monitor while you're driving down the road without having to look behind you all the time, I mean, the safety factor alone would be a big deal. So,
well, I know for a fact anyone who's a parent instinctively, if something happens, you're going to be looking back at that seat, which is probably not necessarily the safest thing to do.
That's correct. So, one of the things that you're going to start seeing is video monitoring.
Okay.
So you'll have a little video camera that'll be attached to the baby seat somehow or another, and you'll have a little device that sits on the dash that you can watch to see what's going on. There are sensors that'll be built in that will help you correctly install the seat. It'll automatically monitor levels, tensions, that type of thing of your baby, so it knows if the baby is sleeping or what have you. So a lot of cool things are going to be going on there. So I expect that we're going to see a lot of development in the next couple of years with that. And then you throw in the fact that you can 3D print these. So maybe you can create a baby seat for your car that's more custom designed to your baby, because they all come in different sizes and shapes as well. It's not adults that do. So, and you have baby seats as a one size fits all type of situation. Probably not the best. So you'll be able to customize your baby seat moving forward as well. So after that, I shouldn't say after that. Jim.
Yes.
We're at half past the show already.
Yeah, we're flying by here.
Yeah,
we're
it really
Katie.
is.
Katie's supposed to be calling.
Katie will be calling in, and we'll continue our conversation. Miss Metaverse, by the way, if those of you who are joining us for the first time, Miss Metaverse, Katie Aquina will be joining us, and we'll be talking more about gadgets and gizmos. So come on back.
Right now, 41.
Dave Ramsey is heard here. Super Talk 1270.
We're back to the Tech Ranch. Stream this program now at supertalk1270.com. Here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
And today is all about gadgets and gizmos. Joining
Yay!
us from New York, a person I get to see in just a couple days, Jim.
All right.
I know. Miss Metaverse, Katie Aquino. How you doing, Katie?
I'm doing well, Marlo. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, too. Are you going to come and see me?
I'm totally going to come and visit you. I'm so excited. I
Cool.
love that you're coming to New York. We're going to have fun.
Yeah, I think so, too. So I know we don't get to spend a lot of time together, but maybe a couple hours on Wednesday night. So it
What
should be
part
fun.
of town do you live in, Katie?
Well, I actually live on Long Island, which is about an hour east of New York City.
What town specifically?
Fayetteville.
Okay.
Yes, I just recently moved here, but
Is that Nassau?
I've lived in. No, it's actually in Suffolk County.
Oh, you're in Suffolk. Okay.
Yes. I actually just moved about a year ago, so
I
now
see.
I'm back on the South Shore, and it's beautiful. I'm looking forward to the summer.
Oh, yeah. It's not too far from my old stomping grounds. I worked in the Hamptons many, many years ago.
It is very close.
I had a
I'm
little
definitely
place.
closer now.
Yeah, I was renting a place literally halfway between Southampton, the city, and Sag Harbor. And that was real nice on the old South Fork there.
That is nice.
Many moons ago. It's probably even more expensive now than it was back then. I remember going into a 7-Eleven asking for change for a $50 bill. They didn't even flinch.
Wow.
And that was 1989.
Wow. Yep.
But anyway.
Yep. So we're talking a little bit about gadgets and gizmos. And I don't know, we've been kind of going through some wearables, urban transportation, that type of thing to this point. So, Kay, do you have anything that's maybe a favorite of yours that you want to talk about?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Okay, so I saw this the other day. I find it really funny. My best friend, Victoria, who you met last year when I came to visit over in Bismarck, Mandan, and so her latest obsession is now YouTube, and she loves watching all these different programs like on innovations and technology. It's so funny to me. I love it. So I came over to visit her the other day, and she had on something. It was 10 top innovations of 2016. And one of them that I saw, which is really neat, I actually liked it, and I thought it'd be perfect for today. It's called Beddy. It's BEDDI.
Okay.
And it's a smart alarm clock for your bedside, just like you would see if you go to a hotel and you always have like the little iPhone dock next to your bed, right? This is kind of like that, but of the future. What's really cool about it is that it has it's an app-enabled alarm clock and speaker. It's made by a company called Witty, which is WITTI, and some of the apps on it are Spotify, and it has an Uber integration. So you can wake up in the morning, customize it so it gets to wake you up to your favorite mood lighting and sounds. And then they will even call an Uber for you at your certain time that you want, which is really cool.
That is pretty cool, actually. So this actually will integrate like with Philips Hue lights and that type of thing so that your lights will come on and all of this other stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's definitely going up the way of the IoT, Internet of Things, and everything's being connected.
Right.
And it's affordable, too. It's $79, and you can pre-order it on Indiegogo.
Cool. By the way, I'm getting my Amazon Echo today. I was hoping to have it before we got on the show. Are you familiar with that at all?
Yes.
So, Jim, are you familiar with the Echo?
I've heard of it. I've never seen one.
So it's a little round. I shouldn't say little. I guess I'm going to guess it stands about a foot tall. And you speak to it. You know, we've talked a lot about your refrigerator listening to you and all this other stuff. Well, this device, you speak to it, and you say, meet Katie, 8 p.m., Bubba Gump's, Town Square, New York, and it'll add it to your calendar. Or you say, listen to the Pretenders, and it'll actually play music through it. It will turn your lights up, turn your lights down, whatever you want it to do, it'll do the stuff. And I'm really anxious to give it a try today. So hopefully it'll be there when I get back to the office. So anyway, Amazon Echo, it's about $200 with shipping and tax and all that good stuff. They actually claim that this will be the next great platform. So I'm not sure, but we'll see where that goes, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah. So maybe next week I will bring it in and we'll have some fun playing around with it. So yeah.
Cool.
Your next one there, Katie.
Okay, so this one was kind of neat that I saw. It's called Olo. It's OLO. It's a really short name. It's the first ever smartphone 3D printer. So what's pretty neat about it is it's on Kickstarter now, and it's the first ever smartphone 3D printer that's a portable and multi-material 3D printer that allows you to 3D print objects directly from your smartphone.
So
and it's pretty amazing. I mean, this campaign has gone viral. It's huge. It's got $1.3 million raised so far,
wow.
and there's still 23 days to go. And what's great about it, too, is that right now a lot of the early bird specials and things are gone already, but those who pledge $99 or more can receive their own Olo 3D printer. So it's pretty neat.
So $99 will get you a personal portable 3D printer.
And a multi-material one. That's pretty cool.
That's crazy. That's an unbelievable price.
Right? It's amazing. It's small, which is, understandably so, but how neat is that? I mean, we're going to be carrying around 3D printers in our pocket. This thing is like, it could fit in the palm of your hand, which is amazing. So it's really, really incredible how fast things are just speeding up in terms of 3D printing. It's literally connecting with your smartphone. You could throw it in your back pocket, you know?
Right. So on that same level, are you familiar with Zuda? Z-U-T-A.
No.
All right, the Zuda Pocket Printer. So in the palm of your hand, you have a full-blown printer to print on paper. And what it does, it's like an inkjet printer on rollers. So you put it down in the side of the upper left-hand side of your piece of paper. It'll roll back and forth over the top of your paper and print out what you want it to do. So if you need to print an email or a photo or whatever, you just carry this in your pocket. And it'll print this stuff. So if you ever, and I haven't played with this thing yet, but it really is, and it actually works pretty quickly. I was watching a video of it, and within a minute, it had a full page printed. So I think for something on the go when you need to, maybe even in an office situation where you need to have, or a meeting situation, maybe you only brought 10 copies and an 11th person shows up or something, you could just set this down, it'll print it out, and then you can hand it to them. It's just the coolest thing. It really is.
Sounds really cool. I'd love to try one.
Yeah, I'm anxious to try it as well. So next on your list.
Okay, so I'm not a huge fitness person, especially with the fitness tech and the Fitbit. I just haven't gotten into it. Maybe that's me. I got out of my CrossFit days and need to get back into it. So this is kind of cool. This is also on Kickstarter, and it's called Enflux Exercise Clothing. And what this is, it's a smart shirt and smart pants that you wear while you're working out. And it has 10 small motion sensors that as you're doing your workout, it provides 3D data and analytics on your movements in real time right on your smartphone. So it's taking the whole idea of having a virtual fitness coach and bringing it to a whole nother level. What's amazing too is that people, trainers actually, and coaches are being certified in this type of exercise clothing routine that they're doing. So now you'll be able to go and have a personal training session with these certified trainers, but then go home and then continue doing those moves that you learned at home, and then being able to check on your smartphone to make sure in real time you're doing the moves correctly. And I think that is a huge step in terms of fitness and being able to, stay on top of your routine, because I think it's a big thing is people don't realize how out of tune they are with their bodies, and when they try to get into something, they can hurt themselves. So I think it's good. Right,
absolutely. So, and with that, I was kind of trying to come up with a question for you, and I actually lost my train of thought there for a second. So,
well, there's more information about it. I mean, The campaign ends in 9 days. It's raised $96,000 of its $100,000 goal on Kickstarter, so it's probably going to come to fruition. And backers who donate $249 get the smart shirt and pants. Okay,
cool. So this isn't as gadgety, or it's gadgety, but maybe not as high-tech as some, but I can't believe nobody's ever thought of this before. And my business partner, Nick Ressler, was showing this to me yesterday, and it's this little gadget that you put, and we've all had this issue. Your children are small. they want to pour themselves a glass of milk or a glass of soda or whatever, and this 2-liter bottle or this big jug of milk, and they just can't handle it, right? So this company's come up with this little device that you put, it's a universal fit over the top of the cover, and there's just this little, it's like a tap. You just tap this thing and it fills up your glass. And I thought it was pretty clever and universally appealing to many things. So you could serve up your juice or whatever without even having to take it out of the refrigerator. So I just thrown that out there. Thought it was kind of clever and a gadget that I think you're going to start seeing in kitchen stores and things.
Great. I'd love to see that.
So, and with that, I think we'll just go right to break here, Jim, so that we don't have to start up another gadget. After the break, everybody, Katie and I will continue our discussion on gadgets and gizmos. And for those of you who are following us on Meerkat right now, somebody just shout out to me and let me know if you're hearing us okay. So after the break, come on back.
Right now, it's 46.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. SuperTalk1270.com.
Follow the Guru of Geek everywhere he goes. Post your comments or questions at thetechranch.com. Once again, your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And out of Long Island.
Long Island.
Long Island.
Yo, Long Island.
Strong Island.
Long Island.
Yeah.
Miss Metaverse, Katie Aquino. Thanks for joining us today, Katie.
Thank you for having me, as always. I'm so excited. More gadgets, more gizmos.
Yes. So what do you got next for us?
All right. So me being a roboticist at heart, let's just say, there is one thing that I found today that I was very excited about that I might have to get myself. So check this out. It's called Sweep, SWEEP, and it's a scanning LiDAR sensor that's designed to bring a powerful 360-degree sensing capabilities to everyone for an affordable price. Now, why this is really significant is that comparable sensors right now start at $1,000 up.
Okay.
And because they're so expensive, it's holding back robotics in a way. It's pretty amazing to see it be much more affordable through, a campaign like Kickstarter.
So before you go any farther, a lot of people listening to us probably have no clue what a LiDAR is. So why don't you explain what that is?
Okay. A LiDAR is a sensor that you would use, say, in the new autonomous cars. What it does is it measures distance by illuminating a target with a laser. So it shoots these laser out, and then it'll be able to tell what's around it. And that's super important, especially for things like robots and autonomous cars.
Right. So a great example of this, by the way, and I don't know if you know this or not, but our vacuum cleaners that are rolling around our houses now, the Roomba, and I forget the brand name that I have, but they use LiDAR, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
And I was curious about how mine worked, and I started looking into it. And it's a very low budget LiDAR because they're only moving at 2 miles an hour at the quickest or whatever, so they don't have to have the crazy information that's coming in like a car does. But it is interesting that even those type of things are starting to implement LiDAR. So anyway, keep going, Katie. Or Jim has something to say.
No,
Okay.
I'm good. I was just going to say, I like the Roomba. I want to get one to put the cat on it.
Did you see, by the way, not to get off topic, right? Now, I forget. I wish the Neato. I have the Neato, but the Roomba is kind of that disc shape.
Looks like a flying saucer.
Yeah, exactly. So somebody has come out with a kit that makes it look like R2-D2.
Nice.
Right.
So if you're a Star Wars fan, you can have a Roomba and have yourself your own R2-D2 running around.
I like the video where the cat's riding around on it.
Yes, that is hilarious. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, get back to your LiDAR thing now there, Katie.
Sweet. Well, as far as Sweep, which is this scanning LiDAR sensor that I'm talking about, so far $161,000 has been raised of the $230,000 goal, and there's still 13 days to go. So you could definitely check it out. That's on Kickstarter, and you can actually buy their LiDAR sensor starting at $249 and up.
So are you thinking that people who are developing robotics for whatever reason, that this is something that they would add into it, or is there a practical reason to have it in your home right now?
I think it's absolutely something that people who are in startups like robotics could definitely benefit from buying this, because I think the biggest arguing point is that it's expensive to have these LiDAR systems. It starts at $1,000 and up. So when these sensors and this type of technology is becoming more available at that more affordable price, especially because it was made by someone who was starting a company and needed this technology and realized how expensive it was. And that's why they made this company and this product called Sweep, so they can make it more accessible to everyone. So I'm excited to see how these sensors do become more affordable and open to the public. So innovation keeps on going away, keep going up.
Absolutely.
Innovating.
Yeah. So wonderful. Okay, next on my list is home automation. And things like, and these are probably not as cutting edge as what Katie is with LiDAR, but I find home automation interesting, especially when it comes to, integrated lighting. I've really been getting into that. I actually installed a light yesterday. Kind of got into this over Easter here, I guess. Put a light in that's Bluetooth, and of course it has a speaker built into it too. So hooked it up to the television or to the computer, and as we're watching a video on the computer, the light bulbs are the ones that are the speakers for it. So you could have an array of light bulbs that have speakers in them and then create your own surround sound around them. So, which I thought is kind of cool. And going on with the lighting, there's one that's called Z-Air. There's a couple of these actually, but Z-Air is a ceiling fan with concealed blades, air purification, and an LED lamp integrated together in a sleek and aesthetically pleasing dome. So basically a dome light like what you have right now, but it has air purification, all this stuff built into it. So that was kind of cool. And then the other one that is along that same line, which it's called Snap. And I love this little device. So it's an indoor-outdoor LED PAR lamp with integrated 720p HD IP camera, a microphone, and speaker. Supports cloud recording, playback, voice and motion activation, facial activity recognition for home security, automation, and commercial applications. So basically, this is a light, an LED light that you just screw into the light bulb socket, and all of a sudden you have yourself a camera, a microphone, a speaker, and lighting.
All in one.
All in one, being powered by the light bulb. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you think about the ability moving forward of, securing your house or securing your business. All you have to do is just put them into the light bulb sockets.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. It really is.
Right.
So I think it's great. And
Want to keep an eye on things?
Yeah. It's called Snap. And I think it's something that I think more and more people, I'm anxious to actually get one. I'm actually going to order one in and try it out. So
they're on the market now?
I believe they're on the market now.
Okay.
Yep. So Katie, next on your list.
Okay, so this one, it seems like it might not make it on Kickstarter, unfortunately, but I like the idea, so I want to say it anyway. This one's called WebEye VR. So it's WEBEYE and then VR. So this is the world's first virtual reality webcam. How amazing is that?
Say that again.
So all right, WebEye VR.
Okay.
The world's first virtual reality webcam.
And how does that work?
Well, this is pretty amazing. I mean, when we think about webcams today, everything is flat. Everything's 2D. We're not able to look around, and everything is just, right in front of us. It's just very, especially if you're using Hangouts or Skype, I think we all experience slight issues with the picture quality at times. So, I like the idea of this, of being able to bring the experience of having a virtual meeting brought to the next level by making it in VR. So what's really great about this is that it extends your field of view. So instead of it being from, let's say, 50 to 90 degrees, the WebEye VR webcam makes it a 160-degree view. You're seeing it in 3D versus in 2D. When you're talking to someone, you get to choose what you're looking at. So you have that option. You're not just, staring at the flat picture on Hangouts or Skype. And it could be used as a regular 2D webcam as well. So
does it have like two eyes on it? 2 lenses on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it works with Samsung Gear VR.
Okay.
At least that's what I've read so far. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So you'd be able to, if something's going on behind the person, or if there's a demonstration going on behind the person, you could actually zero in. If you're viewing this camera, you could actually pick that to watch as opposed to the person that's given the presentation, for example.
Yes, and I really think this is maybe just a little bit ahead of its time. I think it's the first of many to come.
Okay.
I think this is really significant because I think that the next generation of this is going to be amazing. Just imagine having a Skype chat, being able to have these virtual meetings and make it feel more authentic by feeling like you're really in the room with somebody.
Right.
Being able to be there in that 3D space. So I'm excited to see how it develops.
Cool. Well, of course, we're running out of time here. So any last gadgets that you want to get out there to everybody?
Well, I think there was something really neat that I saw. If you're into gaming, I saw something called the GDP Win. It's the world's first 5.5-inch handheld PC/gaming console that's based on Windows 10. And for just $299, backers of the Kickstarter project, I believe it is. It's Indiegogo, apologize.
Okay.
For $299, you can receive this little laptop that fits in your pocket. The campaign's raised over $312,000 so far, and there's still a month to go. So this is a huge campaign. Definitely take a look at it if you're into gaming and you want to have a laptop on the go.
Cool.
In your pocket.
All right, everybody. Obviously, we're going to run out of time here. We'll continue this discussion next week, talking about bendable screens, 3D fuel scanners, all kinds of crazy stuff that we didn't get to. Thanks again, Katie. Thanks again, Jim. Have a nice week, everybody.